You say you're lazy, but what if that's a lie you've been told your whole life? What if the real problem isn't laziness, but exhaustion, fear, or burnout disguised as failure? We live in a world that celebrates hustle and shames rest. So when you're ambitious and tired, the voice in your head doesn't ask, "What do I need?" It screams, "What's wrong with me?" Hi, I'm Trish, and I've lived the burnout cycle way too many times. This channel is all about the tips and tricks that helped me to overcome burnout while still staying productive and successful at work and in my personal life. Here's what I know you want, because I wanted it too. You want to achieve. You want your life to mean something. You want to look back and say, "I did it. I built something that mattered." You want momentum, but you're stuck. Here's the trap. You think your lack of energy is a character flaw. You keep calling yourself lazy because the hustle culture told you if you're not grinding 24/7, you're not trying. So you shame yourself. You force productivity, and eventually you crash. Then you repeat the cycle. And each time it chips away at your self worth. If we don't break this pattern, our ambition becomes a source of pain, not power. You will start questioning your potential. You stop trusting yourself. And eventually, you stop trying. Not because you don't care, but because it hurts too much to keep failing. That's the real danger. Not laziness, but learned hopelessness. So here's the shift that changed everything for me. Discipline doesn't start with motivation. It starts with compassion. I stopped asking, "How do I push through?" and started asking, "What do I actually need right now to move forward?" And sometimes the answer might be just as simple as sleep. Sometimes it was a system. Sometimes it was permission to go slow, but not stop. Here's what helped me rewire my ambition. Micro goals. Not launch a business, but write one sentence today. Habit pairing. Stack something you need with something you enjoy, like listening to a podcast while walking. Systems over shame. Automate and delegate where you can. You don't need to do everything, just the right things. When we start treating ourselves like humans, not machines, we get our energy back. We stop fearing rest. We stop measuring our worth by output. And slowly, momentum returns. You realize you're not behind. You were just unwell. And now you're learning to build with care, not just speed. That's the version of ambition that lasts. I used to cry on Monday mornings because I thought I'd never get it together. I thought everyone else had some magic discipline gene I was missing. But once I stopped beating myself up and started understanding how my brain and body actually worked, everything shifted. And that's why I make these videos, to help you rebuild without the shame. Because if I'd had this mindset years ago, I could have saved myself from so much unnecessary pain. So let me leave you with this. What would your life look like if you stopped labeling yourself as lazy and started treating yourself like someone worth rooting for? Because you are.